Is that Marjorie Taylor Greene right there? How does it feel? Marjorie Taylor Greene. How does it feel for you to be up there talking for weeks, months about how you hated Mike Johnson? Then you have an opportunity to stand on business. You don't, and he still don't pass. You gave up all your power for nothing. How does it feel? The shame. The shame. Shout out to the delegate from the Virgin Islands. As a resident of DC, I appreciate that. The Matt Gaetz thing was hilarious. The fact that they brought up that Matt Gaetz, why Matt Gaetz didn't show up in sweatpants? You know what I mean? Why Matt Gaetz didn't show up in sweatpants? Think about it. If you had the opportunity to go to your old job where you got laid off, okay, because you had to vote for something, you had an opportunity to mess up their raise, or you have an opportunity to mess up their vacation or something like that. Let's say you had an opportunity to sabotage your old job. You wouldn't show up there in sweatpants? I can't believe Matt Gaetz didn't show up in sweatpants. Come on, Matt Gaetz. Come on, Matt Gaetz. I thought I knew you better than that. The Matt Gaetz I know would have shown up in sweatpants with wing stains across his shirt. He should have shown up in dirty sweatpants with wing stains across his shirt and Crocs. He should have showed up in Crocs with wing stains and voted for Lauren Boebert. You know what I mean? Like that's how you handle it when they treat you like that. After the way they treated you, Matt Gaetz. After the way they treated you, you're not gonna show up in sweatpants? Horrible. I thought it was funny. He said Johnson doesn't want to make any promises to the people. Oh, really? Oh, well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. The speeches were funny. That Lisa McClain speech talking about America first, like Trump didn't just say we need as many people as possible in the country. He already said that. He already said that. I went from like Al Green selling hair care product during the vote. He stood up to tell people that everybody always asking me how I get this curl. Well, I got a little bit something for you outside that Canuba oil. I got that Canuba oil outside the chamber. So you want to get this curl? I know we here to vote. I'm just trying to make sure, you know what I mean? Because I see some of y'all could use what I got going on. So come hit me up. Jeffries. Thank you for that, Al Green. Thank you for that. Why would the Democrats look? If you give me a choice, I would prefer the Democrats show out like they did than be depressed and I would prefer they show out like they did than be depressed and down as you think that they could potentially be post-election. That was extra. I mean, that was so extra. So extra. Like, come on, Democrats. That was a whole lot. You know what I mean? That was all. They act like my daughter's daycare. Like, and she put the toy back. Give her a round of applause. He put the toy back. What is this? I know we have an age issue on Congress, but we just applauding regular stuff. Like we just applauding people voting when they name is called. Like we applauding voting recognition. You know, Nancy Pelosi, they called Nancy Pelosi's name and she voted. Oh, still knows her name. Oh, she still knows her name. She is so brave. She is so brave. They were wilding. The Democrats were wilding. It was a lot. It was a lot. Hopefully Byron Donalds got his pat on the head. We all hope, hopefully Byron Donalds was able to get his his pity pat, since he's one of the smart ones. And Byron Donalds is one of the smart ones, so we have that. Okay, when Lisa McClain was doing her speech, did you see how awkward it was when Mike Johnson was just sitting there quiet? Like when they give you an introduction and you just gotta sit there quiet while they talk about you, or when the pastor reference you in church and you just gotta sit there and hope they don't say nothing too embarrassing. Lisa McClain, you know good and well, even the people voting for him, like, I don't know, the Virginia Sparks and the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world, even they don't agree with what you're saying. Even they don't agree with it. Mike Johnson, he know you lying. You up here lying like you speaking at a funeral or something. I mean, really, like we know what it is. We know Mike Johnson. We know Mike Johnson. Like, come on, why are you doing that, Lisa McClain? Why are you doing that? I also love that she said, first of all, he was the speaker during the most unproductive Congress ever. What would you say if he got stuff done? I mean, really, my goodness. I would hate to hear the Lisa McClain speech for actually productive Congress. And my favorite line, we are now ready to govern. Oh, now you're ready. Okay. Now you're ready. Now you're ready. Why didn't they tell us all last year that and 2023, and then why didn't they tell us that, in January of 2025 we're gonna be ready to govern? Just so you know. I know we're not getting nothing done right now, but in January 2025 we're gonna be ready to govern. Yeah, we're gonna be ready. Now we are ready to govern. We all know that Mike Johnson was the least objectionable candidate y'all had. Y'all were looking for somebody that could potentially pass a vote as speaker. We know that he was the least objectionable person y'all had because he was new. We all know that. We all know half of the people in his caucus have objected to him since he's been there. Don't insult us now. Don't insult us now. I personally was disgusted by that random period after, because me wanting full shame. I wanted full shame. I did not want him to pass the vote. So I was very upset by this period where everybody just milling around after the fact with the ability to change their vote. Because I don't recall that moment in November where we all had the opportunity to change our vote. We saw what happened, and then we just got to talk amongst ourselves and decide whether or not we wanted to keep the vote the same or not. What kind of nonsense is that? We should vote for that. We should vote for that. How different things might have been. How different things might have been if some of the pick-me's who decided to sit on the sidelines or do some kind of protest vote realize exactly what the ramifications were. I see exactly what. So let me get this straight. So for Congress, you get to vote, and then you see what the ramifications of your vote are, and then you can mill around, talk amongst yourselves, exchange baseball cards and comic books, and then decide whether you want to change your vote or not. That's what Congress can do. We just vote and then it's a wrap. But we'll hope for the best. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all. That period was nonsense. What else did I got in here? Hakeem Jeffries seemed like he was in a good mood. He seemed like he was in a good mood that entire time. I was happy for him. Like I think Hakeem Jeffries is in the same spirit that I'm in. I'm just here for the drama. I'm just here for the drama. Hakeem Jeffries, like me, getting on the bus. I know I'm getting here to go somewhere. Like there's actual function for me being here, but if we're being honest, I'm here for the drama and entertainment. So I'm just here. I want to see exactly the extent to which they act up. That is really why I'm here. If y'all want to be honest, what is with all of the kids up there? What's with all the kids? Because again, I just talked about how Congress operates and how we're allowed to operate. So we can just have you just take kids to work whenever that just whenever we can just because y'all could do it, right? Y'all could do it. So then, I don't want my supervisor coming down on me at the meatpacking plant because I got my kids right. Y'all taking them to the speaker vote. Not just a performative congressional committee meeting. No, the speaker vote. You got kids in the speaker vote. And I can't even argue that it was a case of like nepotism or anything like that, because I could imagine any place I would less rather be as a child than there. I can't. It is the worst place to have kids, and the only thing worse than having kids in that situation is being a kid in that situation. I can't imagine anything more boring than that. And yes, this comes as I'm watching C-SPAN. I've clearly entered a new phase of life. I sat there and watched C-SPAN. I think tonight, I'm gonna text my wife as soon as I get off the live. They have this little folding contraption you slide up under the side of your bed, and then you do it up, and then it's like it's a handle. And it's a handle. So when you get out of bed, it's like a nice little handle for you to use. You know what I mean? Like a nice little handle for me to use. Help me get out of bed. Make sure I don't pull nothing. I'm gonna order that because I just became eligible to order that because I watched 2 straight hours of C-SPAN. And if you have been on this live, if you have been on here with me for longer than 2 hours, you are eligible as well. So if you need some verification, then let me know. Send me an email at Reese Waters. I'll send you your verification that we out here watching C-SPAN. I just want to read something real quick. Now, y'all know Thomas Massie stood on business. He had the tweet where he said, "You can pull all my fingernails off. You can shove bamboo up them. You can start cutting off my fingers. I'm not voting for Mike Johnson tomorrow." That's what he said yesterday. So we know that Mike Johnson had been making a lot of noise. Andy Harris of Maryland, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, who at least had the decency to hold out. Virginia Sparks of Indiana is an embarrassment. She didn't even hold out. Sad. Here's where I want to go with this. If Johnson does make it out of the vote with gavel in hand, Republicans will face slightly more challenging odds at ousting him than they did with McCarthy. In order to clinch the speakership in 2022, McCarthy had to agree to give just one member the power to trigger the vote to replace him, a scenario that ended up coming to fruition and leading to his ouster less than a year into the job. The new House rules package for this Congress, unveiled by GOP leaders on Wednesday, increases the number of lawmakers that can trigger such a vote from 1 to 9. But the stipulation is all 9 have to be from the majority party, which means the GOP, and it has some Democrats inflamed. Now, I don't know. Here's a quote. Their proposed changes would, for the first time in American history, shield the speaker from accountability to the entire chamber by making it so that only Republicans can move to oust the speaker. That came from Jim McGovern. I don't know why. I don't know why Democrats would be inflamed. Because Republicans are Republicaning. Republicans just Republicaning. They're just Republicaning. They're doing what they do. That's what they do. The conversations that I had going into the election and after the election was about my so disgust with the Democrats and them playing by these imaginary rules. And at every point in time, at every turn, the Republicans and the GOP have conveyed they have no desire to be bipartisan. They have no desire to abide by norms and standards. They have no desire to do anything other than the thing that will get them what they want at every single point in time. And as much as the Democrats like to sit there and complain, you have 2 options. You either find a way to make their behavior punitive, which you've been trying to do for forever, and you still haven't done it by virtue of the Congress and all 3 branches of our government looking like it does, or you enter the game. That's it. That's it. You enter the game. So as we sit right here, right now, Democrats, if you even thinking about entertaining, helping the Republicans out of this mess, do you realize how hard I will come for you? You realize how hard I'm going to come for you for trying to help Republicans out of this mess so they can get a speaker and start a congressional session where you will have, you have no recourse whatsoever for who the speaker becomes. Out of here. Get out of here. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And Republicans, now granted, I realize they did what they did because that's ultimately what they want. They don't want to be answerable to Democrats. But if you thought you might have been in this situation, if you thought that this was a possibility and you might have had 215 chances to get a blue vote to turn to a red vote for Rep. Johnson, well, you just told us how you feel on Wednesday with the rules package. So there it is, right there. There it is. They better not. They better not. I'm gonna do a whole macho Randy Savage promo on any Democrat. You know how that's how Trump be. I'm going primary anybody who, you know what? I'm going primary any Democrat who decides that they want to be a part of this farce. You're going to get primaried. And by primaries is just what I call my videos where I'm just going off. I was really annoyed and angered with the suggestion that Elon Musk could be Speaker of the House. But now that I see the level of shame that comes with these kind of votes, oh yeah, bring Elon. Yeah. I would love to see Elon Musk have to sit up there and people vote whether or not they wanted to be. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Without the ability to censor and pull the blue checks from any of the people that don't agree with him. Make it happen. I want him in that seat. I want him in the seat that Kevin McCarthy was in and in the seat that Mike Johnson's in right now. That's what I want. At the end of the day, this is a harbinger of things to come. You reap what you sow, and you bring in all these people who don't actually want to lead, who specialize in destruction and not construction. This is what you got. And this is just the beginning. This is supposed to be the easy part. This is supposed to be the easy part. And yet, this is what you have to go through. You reap what you sow. And as much as we've had all these conversations about that with regards to the pick-me's, we've had that with regards to Maga and all the FAFO moments that there have been in just 2 months. And now we have that conversation with regards to Congress themselves. You have control over the 3 houses because you have packed your caucus with rabble-rousing influencers. Now you have the task of governing. Peace be with you. And if you are like me and you object to the agenda that they have laid out, then I would want nothing more than the level of dysfunction on display. Pretty much since Election Day. Since Election Day, obviously, election night did not go the way that I and many of you, I'm sure, watching would have liked for it to go. But since Election Day to now, chef's kiss. Just really doing a bang up job, Maga. You're killing it. Thank you. What was that, Bartles and James? Thank you for your support.
Johnson of the state of Louisiana has received 218.
Pretty much the exact thing. The exact thing that I railed against is what came to fruition. We just have this open-ending voting process. It's still technically the first ballot. You know what? America, where they get the open-ended ballot, where they just get to talk and change their votes and have it still be a part of this vote, and we don't have the opportunity to do that. And if you're in the wrong jurisdiction, or your jurisdiction happens to be a little bit too brown, like mine in DC, you don't get a vote at all. I love that number that the delegate from Virgin Islands gave to 4 million people. Let's look at these red state. Let's look at some of these red state populations. While we got 4 million disenfranchised Browns, because that's what we're talking about, and that's exactly why. I hope the Virginia Sparks and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Chip Roys are happy with their haul. I hope they're happy with their haul. And now that the complaining on the Steve Bannon show no longer has the power that it used to, because you need up to 9 members in order to put Mike Johnson in any kind of peril. Good luck. I wish them the best of luck with that.